Let's draw these rustic steps of an old house in Banaras, India. The textures and contrast of this picture was simply awesome, and it's an ideal subject for a pen sketch. The pen you see here is EP1 series pen from Refine. It's a ballpoint pen. I'm going to draw this entire sketch using only this pen. As you may observe, I have not used a scale or any straight object to draw the straight lines. Rather, I move the paper around so I can comfortably draw relatively straight lines. This is deliberate. In my opinion, straight lines drawn with a scale look artificial in a pen sketch. I prefer the lines to look a little crooked against them looking artificial. But that's just my choice. You are free to use whichever tools are at your disposal. But don't say I did not warn you. As of now, I am focusing on completing the outline first. Once the basic shapes and their relationship with each other is established, we can begin with the details. Take as much time as you need at this stage, because correcting the details later on is a lot easier than correcting the fundamental mistakes in this structure. Darkening one side of the wooden slat over the door automatically creates an illusion of depth. Just make sure all the dark areas are on the same side. For bigger areas where shading is needed, use hatching and/or cross-hatching strokes. Make sure these strokes are along the contour of the object over which you are drawing the shadows. Let's draw some texture on the underside of this parapet. I recommend to always draw the textures first and shadows later on any surface. This way, it's easier for us to determine how the shadows behave. Similarly, draw textures over the side wall of the stairs. Now let's begin drawing the shadows on the side wall of the stairs. We will use vertical hatching strokes for this. Observe how the textures of the wall is still visible under the hatching strokes. Draw hatching strokes on the surface of the underside of this parapet on the right. Observe how the direction of these hatching strokes is different from the direction of the hatching strokes on the side wall. Let's add some details to the various signage boards attached to the side wall. Painting letters and signages within a sketch always give the sketch a more refined character. Pun fully intended here. For the dark innards of the shops on the right hand side, we will apply the darkest values by either using cross hatching or hatching repeatedly over the same area. Add some textures and details to the front facing wall around the door. Also add some texture to the wood of the door and windows. Now start adding some shadows to the front facing wall. These shadows will be light and we will draw them using hatching strokes. We don't want to obscure any texture details below these hatching lines. Notice that I have already drawn a light outline for the shadow over this wall using a light pencil stroke. This enabled me to create this perfect boundary between the light and shadowy parts. While drawing the hatching strokes over this canopy, make sure that the hatching strokes follow the contour of the canopy and are not perfectly straight like those drawn over the wall. Draw light shadows over the door. Keep drawing textures on various parts using hatching and stippling techniques. Now let's focus on the stairs. We want to draw rough, uneven textures on these stairs followed by light shadows, just like we did with the walls. As the last finishing touch, draw the electric cables like this. These cables are not taut but loosely hanging. In real life, these cables look extremely ugly, but in a drawing, they bring in that much needed shape contrast, making the drawing more interesting. Make some of these cables darker so they are clearly visible in the foreground. Add textures to any remaining parts and we are done with our sketch. You will find more information about pen sketching techniques in my various books available in English, French, German and Spanish languages. I hope you enjoyed this video. If yes, please press the like button below and subscribe to my channel if not done already. And don't forget to press the bell icon to receive notifications whenever I publish a new video. You can find out more about my books and my video trainings on my website https://HuesAndTones.net. Happy sketching!